The Grapes of we either had to read the Grapes of Wrath.
Oh, hello, it's us, Andrew outside of the Longacre Theatre, about to see Of
Mice and Men. It stars James Franco.
What?
And also Chris O'Dowd. Both of them are movie stars. Chris O'Dowd was in Bridesmaids. And James Franco has been in everything ever done in the
history of everything.
Of culture.
They're actually in the process of digitally inserting James Franco into every film ever made.
I was really dubious of these two Hollywood stars being in this very heavy-hitting...
serious play. This does seem like credibility grab.
Yes. The one aspect of the show that has me believing in it is the director is Ann Shapiro. She won a Tony for a little show called August Osage County, and she was also nominated for directing The Mother with the Hat. So she has some credibility behind her.
Sure. In her hands, she's probably going to whip these two boys into shape, and we're going to get manly and micey. Here we are at intermission, and for those of you who don't know the text, it's about the tender friendship between two migrant workers set against the brutal backdrop of the Dust Bowl. One of the central characters is a simpleton.
At first, when Chris O'Dowd first came out, he was channeling that classic Gilbert Grape touch kid.
You felt like he was going full retard.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you can't do this for 2.5 hours. But somehow, over the course of the first act, you truly start to love and hate Lenny.
Hate Lenny?
Not hate Lenny, but
wow,
no,
look at that. Look who hates Lenny.
No, it's not that you hate Lenny.
Everybody loves Lenny, Andrew.
But you can see why James Franco would want to get rid of him.
It's really about the American dream. It's about becoming your own man against adversity. There's a lot of talk about how Leighton Meester has given everyone the eye, and guess what I couldn't see when she made her big entrance? Her eyes. It's called sightlines, guys, okay? Set design, get on that.
However, you could smell her. Was it just me, or could you smell her perfume?
Did you really smell her perfume?
Yes.
They were pumping the perfume.
I think they did.
That's in the text.
I think it could be.
That's a pretty deep commitment.
Yeah.
Oh my, I can't even. Like, I'm devastated. I don't think that I'll be emotionally prepared to handle parsing this show until sometime next week.
James Franco makes so many right choices. I'm really surprised about how smooth, how confident. Also, Chris O'Dowd does an amazing job as Lenny. You have a great director, Shapiro. I thought you might have two mediocre actors. Not the case. You have two great performances, one great director for a really top-notch show.
Steinbeck has a real economy of language, and his characters are very plain-spoken. And for the most part, this show is very direct and unmuddled. Only occasionally does Alex Morph or Leighton Meester slip into a little bit of overacting. For the most part,
I'm really amazed that James Franco did not overact. He played it with such restraint.
Yes, you thought that Franco or Dowd were going to be the ones to chew the scenery, but it was the supporting characters who occasionally get a little bit over the top.
Yes,
and that's detrimental to a show which is so plain spoken.
Yeah.
Green light here. This is a must-see as far as I'm concerned.
Green light here. So 2 green lights for Mice and Men at the Longacre Theatre.